Welcome back to the Daily Dollar Podcast. I'm your host, Kate McCready, and I am here with...
Art Morrison the third.
Ooh, I like the suspense you gave there.
Which one is he? Is he the fourth? Is he the second? What is he?
The what?
The third.
Okay, cool. The third. I like it. Sounds very prestigious. So today I want to talk about the most common snags hit in real estate transactions.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What made you come up with this episode?
We said something in our last episode, and I literally stopped and wrote it down, and I was like, oh, that's
Do you
a good
have
one.
snags already written down, or are we about to brainstorm?
No, we're about to
snags
brainstorm right
live
here.
on the air.
Live on the air.
All right, cool.
It could be from any part, like whether it's just like anyone purchasing a house or like investing,
Yeah,
whatever.
I got you. I get it. Snags in real estate.
Snags
you want
in
to go
real
first, or
estate.
you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, kick it off.
The first snag in real estate, because I'm going like from top to bottom, from like
Okay.
when I'm trying to buy a house to like once I have the house. I'm
Okay.
probably gonna go in order.
Yeah.
So the first snag I could think of hitting is engaging a seller
Okay.
or a realtor to buy the property, and no, I'm gonna even go further than that because those are all stupid ones. I was gonna say like if the seller like switches up on you, or I don't know, isn't cooperating in attorney review, but those are all tiny. The biggest snag I could think of in the beginning is the property not appraising.
Ooh.
Yeah. So what that means, like if you're buying a house, and the house costs $300,000 on the market, and you come in, you're like, I'm gonna give you $310,000 because I don't want to compete with anybody. Here's my offer. But then the bank that's funding your purchase says, well, wait a minute. According to our research, this house is only worth $275.
Oof. That's a big difference there.
I mean, even if it was $295, right? I mean, that's pretty close. $285. I mean,
Yeah.
any difference, right? That stinks because now that deal is not as juicy as it was when you put that offer in now. Like, because now you're missing out on, like, that's equity you would have had. Now you have to put that extra amount of money up. They'll usually let you, sometimes they'll just deny the loan if it's a big gap.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first snag I could think of.
So how do you solve that? You pay the extra difference, or...
You can pay the extra difference. You can challenge the appraisal or get a whole separate appraisal. But appraisals are like $700. So
What about asking the seller to reduce the price?
you can ask the seller to reduce it. But I mean, if I'm a seller, it's like, bro, I'm not reducing anything. I'll just go to the next buyer, especially in a market like this.
Right.
So you risk, kind of offending the seller. Like, hey, my bank appraised the property low. So can I give you less money? That's a tough one. But my biggest thing is like, if I'm buying, let's say I'm buying a multifamily and I know I'm going to profit $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 on a year. So just for easy numbers, if I'm buying a house for $100,000, I know every year I'm making a 12% return.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. Let's say I'm putting 25% down on $400,000.
Okay.
That's $100,000 down. And then I know cash on cash, I'm making 12% on the year.
Gotcha.
But if the property doesn't appraise and I got to put extra down, right? That same $12,000 might not make me my cash on cash on $125,000.
Right.
Right now, I might be dipping below 10%, and I am actually dipping below 10%, and I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like it's just not the same deal because I had to come out of pocket with extra cash, even though the property value is the same.
Right.
And you have that equity in the house. It just switches up, it changes the numbers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like not being able to get funding, whether it's you, whether it's a buyer, just not being able to get funding from their bank.
Yeah, I mean,
That's pretty common,
It not
actually.
appraising can lead to that.
Right.
But yeah, not getting funding is definitely the worst.
Yeah.
We've not gotten funded because it didn't appraise.
Yeah.
We've not gotten funded for, let me see, we had an FHA where the property they just couldn't bring it up to acceptable FHA standards.
Yeah.
What else? What's some other ones? Obviously, we've had a buyer not be able to get approved for a deal we were trying to wholesale.
Yeah.
Which is the worst, but there's only one way to find out, and that's at the end.
Yeah.
What's some other one? What's some other instances where you wouldn't get approved? Oh, I mean, all the reasons
credit.
why they underwrite it. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, not credit because they run your credit from the beginning, but you
Right.
could mess it up throughout the deal by like
Those
buying a car midway through, or
exactly.
like spending money and now you don't have enough reserves in your account.
Or like going 30 days on something.
Yeah, yeah, going late on a payment
Yeah.
while
Which is probably a little more
while your
common.
file is even in the middle of underwriting. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So what?
Oh, it's my turn for a
Yeah.
snag.
Your turn.
I would say another snag you can hit in real estate. Let's go on the construction piece.
Okay.
Finding a hidden oil tank
Oof.
or like hidden structural damage or something
Yeah.
that's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Even if it's just $5,000, that could throw off profits if you find just a $5,000 problem that you
Yeah.
didn't see when you were, evaluating the deal. Now, obviously, you should have reserves in your construction budget.
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Well, you should, but if you run into it during the transaction period and you have an inspection contingency, then you can. We've talked about this, but you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah, certainly. I'm
Yeah.
talking about I bought it. I own
Oh,
it. Yeah.
and that comes up afterwards.
Yeah, like I have
Gotcha.
$5,000 in extra in my construction budget, but I ran through that because we found some termite problem or something we
Right.
didn't see in inspection. And then I had another problem. My reserves are going. I got to come out of pocket. Now it's altering the profits of the deal.
Yeah.
That's a snag that is actually also common because, they allow you to get a home inspection while you're buying the property.
Yeah.
We always take our contractor there to kind of get an extra look at the property. But people can miss stuff. They're human,
Yeah.
right? You can miss things and find things. I mean, we bought the one house in Old Bridge and found out that they buried a bunch of junk in the backyard.
Yeah.
So now we got to excavate it and
Like
get it out
AC
there.
units.
Well, we don't
Weird-
know because it's
weird
buried, right?
shit.
You just see stuff like kind of poking out of the ground once we got
Yeah.
the grass cut, and it's like, wait, what? So that's something we have to handle. I don't know. Situations like that. Your turn.
Yeah. So more on. I guess I've had this as a realtor. We were selling a house, and the sale had the contingency of them selling their house, and that didn't happen. That didn't fall through. So like that, I
Yeah.
think that happens a lot.
That happens as well.
Yeah.
Yep. We had somebody buying a property, but it's contingent upon them selling their property and their house
Right.
don't sell.
Yeah.
And like now wow, that's super common.
Yeah.
Especially in like traditional real estate, not so much like fix and flip.
Right.
But that has almost happened in right. We had a property under contract we were buying from Alex,
Yeah.
but he's living in the property, so we can't flip it with him living there. So the contract was contingent upon him finding a place, which we were concerned about
Yeah.
because he didn't have good credit, had some bad stuff on his debt. We're like, how is this dude gonna move? How's he gonna get another house? But he ended up doing it, and the
Yeah.
deal ended up going forward. But that could have been a huge snag where a whole deal falls through.
Right.
And for us, that's a big deal because we have partners. We have people like you're lining people up. You're lining up your contractors.
Yeah.
You're lining up your partners and investors.
We've already done due diligence, so that
Yeah,
costs
you already
money.
paid for
Yeah.
appraisal and inspection.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one actually.
Ton of content there.
We can go. Actually, now that we're going, yeah, we can
Yeah.
I can go all day with this.
That's why I figured this would be fun, just to rattle off snags hit.
Yeah, actually, maybe we'll do one of these a week.
Yeah. Right.
Nah, or like once a month or something. But
Like what went wrong this month?
yeah. Let me fill you guys in on this month's snags.
Yeah. We've had deals just like we've been in transactions trying to buy properties or sell properties even that have just gone so long because it's just snag after snag after snag.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we deal with either buyers or sellers who aren't in real estate full time as we are. So they don't understand necessarily that like this is normal. Sometimes this happens. Like
Yeah.
sometimes deals go flawlessly and they're quick, but a lot of the times they don't. Like most of the times they don't actually.
Period.
Yeah, yeah, and they'll go months, and you never hit your closing date.
Yeah, I learned that being in real estate, being an investor, as I am, obviously, is almost all about like just coming up with solutions.
Yeah,
Overcoming obstacles, coming up with solutions. Repeat. Overcome obstacle, come up with solution. Overcome obstacle, come up with solution. All the way until a check, essentially.
right.
You know what I mean? It's just problem solving, which is kind of
That's why.
that's all
Big
entrepreneurship.
bucks.
Yeah, that is why you make the big bucks. But yeah, I guess that's like entrepreneurship in general, but definitely in real estate. It's like
Yeah.
the wild, wild west. But anyway, guys, we're coming up on time.
Yeah.
Love to go through some more snags with you, but I can already feel the negative energy consuming me. So we're going to try to go into a happier episode. But listen, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to us on YouTube. What was I saying?
Apple Music
No,
or not
hush,
Apple Music.
hush. No, I'm sorry. I was going a different route. That's why I messed up my outro.
Oh no.
Like, share, subscribe, follow on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. That's where I was going. And then I was going subscribe to the podcast.
Apple Podcasts.
On Apple Podcasts, Google
Spotify.
Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Leave us a review. 5-star review.
Leave a review, DM us topics, all that good stuff. Don't forget to visit unitedhomerelief.com to tap into our online real estate course called the Real Estate Roadmap, where we teach all of every strategy we know as extensive as possible.
Yep. And we continuously add to it.
Yeah, always adding to it. So anywho, see you guys on the next episode. I'm Art Morrison III.
I'm Kate McCready.
Peace out.
See ya.